Hi again. Welcome back to the Nightmare X show. I know. What is this? Nightmare X doesn't make videos on Tuesdays. What is this? I'll tell you. I couldn't make a video on Sunday because Sunday was Father's Day. I just didn't want to do that. So today is basically Sunday's video. Monday I couldn't make it because I was just doing things with my family and I didn't have a chance to make it. Yeah. Tuesday, so I'm making this Monday night, but Tuesday, the day you will see this, I have a job interview at Save-A-Lot. So I might possibly be getting a job pushing buggies and stocking shelves and that kind of stuff. So Wednesday, I'll tell you all about it. So that's tomorrow for you guys. So past Nightmare, here to tell you, there is something that could rival, or it's already done more than rival the Phoenix Force. And if it was let loose in the Dark Phoenix movie, then that would be amazing. We would see a whole new thing, or the moviegoers would see something that they've never seen before, and a lot of comic book readers don't know about this. Gonna have to get my Kindle. And we are going to look up this thing. So the other day, I was looking at pictures of obscure Marvel characters, and I typed in, something like Bronze Age Marvel characters, and I came across this one. As I was actually looking at pictures of Torpedo, of course, Torpedo is this, I guess you could say, villain. He's like a small-time crook type character. But while I was looking at pictures of him, I ran across a picture of a black silhouette with like goblin ears, and I was like, what is this? I have to find out. I need to know what this is. I'd never seen this thing before, and I was like, that's rare. Considering how many characters I know about, it's rare that I see one that I don't know about, or that I've never seen before. So anyways, I opened the web page that the picture was linked to, and I found out about this character called, or it's not really a character, it's like an entity like the Phoenix Force, but it's called the Goblin Force. And it's a very similar concept, but it's so much worse. It literally destroyed the Phoenix Force like it was nothing. And so what are the implications for this that this is going to have on my fanfiction? Well, I don't know. Basically, that's some big stuff. Let me get through this first book and onto some bigger things before I even think about using it. So, I'm just gonna say that upright, but this is some awesome stuff. And I want to say this for the people that are thinking about watching Dark Phoenix. Like, if you're thinking about watching Dark Phoenix, you need to hear this. So, I'm just going to go back to the Marvel database. Why am I stalling? I'm basically stalling. So this is in an alternate universe. It's not in Earth 616. It's in, well, if the page will load, it's in Earth 1298. So it's a different universe for some reason. And I'm going to show you guys the picture, which I'm going to have to turn the brightness down all the way, because otherwise it'll be overexposed, I think is the word. There's the picture of the goblin force about to consume the planet. It didn't. It just kind of descended on it, but that is the picture that we got. That's terrifying. If you really think about it, that is terrifying. Let me turn up the brightness again. And okay, so the Goblin Force was born at the beginning of reality. It's like older than time. It's older than all the concepts and all that stuff. Just like the Phoenix Force. It was an ever-present thing. It always was an ever-present thing. So I don't know what I just did. The screen went black. Why am I looking at Clash of Clans? I must have tapped an ad, and I didn't know that I tapped it. So, it was born at the beginning of reality, is what it says. During the Big Bang. So, the Big Bang created the Goblin Force, along with everything. Like the Phoenix Force, it had limitless power. So this thing is absolutely limitless. But unlike the Phoenix, it derived power from its ravenous hunger. It was this... Okay, you know how the Red Lantern rings feeds on your rage? It's kind of like that. Like, the Goblin Force... This is going to be a fun video. I'll just read the article. How about that? It's only like 3 paragraphs. If you're still here, you're a trooper anyways, because most people would click off this video. It's not entertaining. So here's the article, as it is, and I'm going to link it regardless. The Goblin Force was born at the beginning of reality during the Big Bang. Like the Phoenix Force, it had limitless power, but unlike the Phoenix, it derived power from its ravenous hunger that could not be sated. Its hunger led it to consume whole galaxies. When it encountered the Phoenix Force, the Phoenix stood against it, only to be consumed. Even Galactus, the devourer of worlds, fell to the power of the Goblin Force's hunger. It was not until the 5th host of the Celestials, who stood against the Goblin Force, that the Goblin Force then met defeat. There's some typos in here, but basically the 5th host stopped the Goblin Force. Though it was not destroyed. The Celestials eventually died from the battle, leaving the Goblin Force only to be contained. And that's a bad thing. You don't want to cage the bear. It only makes it angrier. Many years later, the Goblin Force seized the opportunity to attach itself to the life force of Madeline Pryor, making her its conduit into the world again, being reborn as the Goblin Queen, through the corruption of Madeline Pryor. As the Goblin Force gradually took over Madeline's mind, it waged a war against Earth heroes, brainwashing most of them to join forces with her. Eventually, the Goblin Force was again contained by Scotty Summers, which is like the son of, or child of Havoc, I think. I forget, honestly. Um, yeah, the son of Madeline Pryor and Alex Summers. So, Alex Summers, who was said to, no, they're talking about Scotty, who was said to have celestial level potential in power, similar to Franklin Richards. Madeline Pryor was lost in the process. So, they contained the Goblin Force. Scotty contained it, but that killed Madeline. Okay. The Goblin Force eventually returned after possessing the comatose body of the Beyonder. Yeah, that like stood out to me. That was a big, that's a big thing for me. Like when you think of the Beyonder, you think of Battle World. You think of that, Secret Wars? Was that the one where he took all the heroes and all the villains? Not all of them, select ones. And he put them on a world somewhere else, and he was like, okay, now you can do whatever, and I'll see what happens. Like, this is a guy that has equal power to Owen Reese. So, imagine that kind of power to warp reality and basically do whatever he wants in the hands of the Goblin Force. So, yeah. It attached itself to the Beyonder, adding his power to its own, and waged another war against Earth heroes, joining forces with Dracula. Posing as the Beyonder, the Goblin Force killed most of Earth's heroes, including the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Doctor Doom, and Namor. The Goblin Force eventually revealed herself to Havoc after stripping the Beyonder's body of its power. So, it pulled the Beyonder's power out of him. This thing is OP. This is broken. Okay. Havoc was revealed to hold within him the nexus of all realities, an unlimited supply of energy, funneled through him using the nexus, combined with Scotty's celestial level power. The Goblin Force was separated from, it says Madeline, but I'm assuming it means the Beyonder. So, it was separated from the Beyonder and defeated. And that's the end of the article. It goes into powers and abilities. And let me tell you, this thing is insane. Okay. So in the gray is without a host body, and in the blue is with a host body. So gray is intelligence 2, strength 3, speed 3, durability 3, energy projection 6, fighting skills 2. With a host body is all 7s except for fighting skills. That just doesn't say anything, because who knows? It depends on who the Goblin Force possesses. Oh, and I don't know why, but the top of the article calls it the Goblin Entity, but the entire article calls it the Goblin Force. So, the web address also says Goblin Entity, and when you open this tab, go to this page, it will say Goblin Entity on the tab. So, yeah. I don't know. Shall we read off the powers and abilities? I think the video is long enough, but if you want to stick around for that, that would be nice. And, by the way, if you like videos like this, stick around, there's going to be more. I usually play like really calming music and just sort of have that in the background, so I'm not like the loudest thing in this environment. The calming music actually makes me more chill, so I talk smoother, I am a lot quieter, my voice is just softer for some reason, and there's an ad that popped up on my Kindle. So, if you like videos like this, now, I also talk about video games. I don't do gameplay because I don't understand software at all. So, I can't edit, I can't do playthroughs, even though, that would make the channel better. I would like to do that stuff, but I'm not that tech savvy. Anyways, if you like this kind of stuff, this kind of content, be sure to like the video, and if you're not already, subscribe, please. I should get further than I've gotten. I started this in 2016, so look at my subscriber count, and you will feel my pain. Or maybe you'll just be surprised. Anyways, powers and abilities. Insatiable hunger. The Goblin Force possesses an unknown capacity to absorb massive amounts of energy from cosmic-level entities, such as the Celestials, the Phoenix, the Beyonder, and Galactus. The Goblin Force adds those powers to itself once it consumes them. It is not yet known what the extent of the Goblin Force's powers are. So, basically, it absorbs a power, and then it has that power. This is so broken. When was this? 1998. And how many appearances has it had? Go to notes, it's had 4 appearances. I can see why. Energy absorption. It can directly absorb any type of energy, such as Cyclops' ruby red-colored optic blasts, or the entire energy of a star, sun, or even a whole galaxy. Disintegration waves. It can consume and remove a near infinite molecules per second. Psionic nexus. As it is the nexus of all psionic energy, it has a vastly strong and powerful mental capacity for ability, including telepathy, empathy, and telekinesis, and often seeks out hosts who have psionic abilities, which could be any of those 3. So, this thing could possess Professor Xavier. It could possess Mockingbird. Is that the one with the big purple wings? Yeah. Mockingbird's the one with the white hair and the purple energy stuff, isn't it? I think that's her. Sorry, I just have to check this message. It's from someone that I might see here soon. Soon is a relative term. Anyways. So, where was I? When bonded with a host, the Goblin Force vastly strengthens and amplifies all of their superhuman mutant powers and abilities to immeasurable and innumerable power levels. Telekinesis. Telekinetic abilities of the Goblin Force capable of grasping entire planets and destroying them with a single thought. Just by thinking. This thing can grab planets out of their orbit and destroy them. So, concussive force blast. It can wield this energy to project beams of immense concussive force that can destroy planets. I'm not even close to being done. There's like 5 or 6 more powers. Maybe more. Weakness none. I just saw that. Weakness none. Telepathy. Capable of displaying various psionic feats with the minds of others, including reading and communicating with thoughts over vast distances. Sorcery? Possibly one of the greatest casters in the world, the Goblin Force is capable of mass manipulation over magic energy. Demonstrated to even be capable of endless possibilities of spellcasting, demonstrated to be stronger than Morgan Le Fay, Merlin, and Scarlet Witch all together. I'm still not done. Shadow morphing, allowing to dematerialize, or create demons and goblins from shadows, lending them its power. So it can just summon a demon or a goblin and lend it a portion of its power. Immortal. The Goblin Force cannot die, meaning if it is destroyed somehow, its entity will rebuild and create itself once again. So they're saying that could happen, but it was destroyed and that's not happened yet. And this was 1998, so it's kinda kicked it. Or, kicked the bucket, I mean. What was that noise? Like a squeak noise. Cosmic manipulation, possessing massive control over the cosmos. The Goblin Force can destroy planets and galaxies, summon comets and meteors, change the weather, and cause terrifying disasters. I'm losing my crap right now. Why is this thing so powerful? Why did Marvel decide, okay, we're gonna make a thing that can screw up everything? And then Jack Kirby's over here like, how much everything? And Stan Lee's like, everything! This is beautiful! Chronokinesis. The Goblin Force has complete control over the time and its aspects, allowing it to alter time and space itself. Cosmic teleportation. It can teleport others across vast distances, such as another planet or galaxy, and the vast vacuum of space itself. Resurrection Force, and it doesn't even go into detail like what that is. So, Resurrection Force. Quantum singularity. It can transmigrate throughout time and space by folding its energy back into itself, causing it to collapse akin to a black hole. It then reforms itself upon reaching its destination. Okay. The more I find out, the more scared I am. I'm serious. Like, this is not okay. Force of life. The Goblin Force can control and manipulate life and death itself. Matter transmutation. It can manipulate matter and on a subatomic level. Example, turning wood to gold, stone to crystal, etc. Strength level infinite. Weakness none. I can see why it only had 4 appearances. Okay, notes. The Goblin Force is an entity of great power that threatens to destroy all of creation. It is the rival of the Phoenix Force, even though it destroyed it in like 1 second. It is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. I don't even know. Like, why did Marvel create something this destructive? Why did they think this is a good idea? We can do this and it'll be fine. Why did they think that? Okay, I can only think of one entity off the top of my head that can possibly destroy this being. The only thing I can think of to destroy this being would be Slorioth the Omnivorous. And I'm going to link him as well. He is a creature from another space, another universe, I guess. And he's so powerful that a lesser form of himself tried to come to Earth, didn't make it fully through the portal. By the way, he is absolutely massive. It was destroying everything. The Earth, time, reality. Doctor Strange contacted the Vishanti, and he was like, you need to come here and help us defeat Slorioth. And the Vishanti was like, no, that could destroy all of reality if we even attempted to stop Slorioth. And it was a lesser powered version of itself. It wasn't Slorioth at full power. So, that's the only thing I can think of that could possibly destroy the Goblin Force. And with that, I am done with this video. If you are going to see Dark Phoenix, then just think about all the power that the Goblin Force has and what it could possibly do to the Phoenix Force that you're going to see in Dark Phoenix. Thank you for your time. I know it's been a long video, and if you stayed through the first 7 minutes, then you're a trooper, because that was boring. I wouldn't watch that. I mean, I was stalling. That was crap. So anyways, I will see you tomorrow, I guess, and I'll be able to tell you all about the interview I will have already had by the time you see this. And I'll see you Wednesday, tomorrow for you guys, and peace.